We are the longest running Kaiju podcast in history. We also have a lot of fun on here. This is Go Kaiju Show, where we have a healthy obsession with Kaiju. I'm your co-host, Kenton. With me is your other co-host,
Jason. How's it going, peeps? And also just want to say that we've been around for 15 years, so that's kind of quite the feat so far.
We had nearly a 2-month hiatus just so we could say that.
Yes.
That's why we were gone much of the last month and a half, 2 months.
Well, apparently he's kind of had some little emergencies and stuff, so that's been kind of back a little bit.
There was a 2-week period where we had like a family emergency. Thankfully, everything's okay. But things got pretty scary there for a while. And then again, like I've said before on this podcast for a while now, like my son's involved in sports. So there's been stuff involved with that too. And we finally said, look, it's been long enough. We got to sit down and do this. But you know what? We're still getting YouTube subscribers. So people love us. Come on. Like what's not to love here? We have a lot of fun here on Go Kaiju Show.
Well, and I've been seeing recently, too, a little bit activity on our Facebook page. And I think we've gotten at least a couple new subs over on that page, too. Even we, like what you said, haven't been recording for close to 2 months or a month and a half. And for whatever reason, we're still getting subs. We haven't really done much, even on the Facebook page where we haven't posted for a while, up until recently with the news of Sam Neill being casted in the new Godzilla Con movie and all that stuff. So since then, we're getting a little bit more activity.
I think people like us when we're inactive. I don't know what that says about us and what they think about us when we actually blab. we don't like it when you're actively talking, but we like it when you shut up. I'm not sure how to take that here, but we are back with content. We are going just because we got to do a lot of makeup work. We're going to do 10 episodes today. No, just joking. No, but I was talking with Jason before the show here, and I said, I think about this time, had we kept up with our regular schedule, I think we would be close to being done. And we would only have just a few episodes left. Yeah,
and I was calculating all of it before we started here. And if we would have kept it going every other week that we did up until this point, we would have been 6 more episodes left of Kamen Rider.
So we're just torturing ourselves.
You know. Gee, thanks a lot.
No, I mean, again, we've talked about it before on this podcast. If you've listened or seen those episodes before, this series has run real long, and it would be one thing if it's run real long for a lot of it being the same type of thing over and
two, for me, I think at this point it's really run its course.
We'll get to that, though, when we actually get to the end of this series, which, depending upon the calendar, let me just briefly take a look at the we're probably looking at June now.
And then speaking of which, I will late next month that I will be out on vacation. So
July now.
I would at least say mid-June by the time when we finally wrap this up.
I bet you enough stuff will happen over the course of the rest of this year that we will not get it done until December. Just watch.
At this point, I wouldn't be shocked. Literally speaking.
All right. So are you ready?
Well, before we do, I just want to say, if you see a subscribe button down below or above, wherever you're watching us, hit that subscribe button as well. Smash the like button. And we'll also have audio versions of our episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to us audio wise. And you can also find both audio and video versions of our episodes at our own website at gogokaijushow.com.
All right, so we're doing episodes 84 through 86 today. If you have not joined us for a commentary before, what we do is we count down from 3. We go 3, 2, 1, go. When we say go, we hit player select on whichever device it is we're using to watch these episodes. And so, Jason, are you ready?
Indubitably.
All right, so here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. I got the volume level on my TV down to 2, and I've kind of gone back and re-listened to segments of some of our more recent episodes. And I cannot believe like how clear and how loud some of it comes in through my end. I don't understand it because like even right now it's on 2. I got earbuds in and I can still hear it pretty clear.
Well, and when I do the final production or edits of the audio, I use Adobe's AI functions and some of the other through Premiere Pro where I export the audio from the video and then go through Audition, kind of do some more tweaks with it. But I do use a little bit of AI, so you probably will hear some of the weird noises and stuff. That's from the episodes and stuff in Kent's background.
Yeah. Well, I just turned it down to 1 now. I don't want to completely turn the volume down because some of the cries of the shocker minions and stuff are kind of funny, and that's kind of what adds to this whole thing. So
yeah. Oh, we don't get a title card this time with this episode.
We might in a moment. Just give it a second.
But we usually get it right at the very beginning after the credits.
Yeah.
Jill Shocker.
Man, I've forgotten so much. I think that's my brain trying to protect itself.
I'll protect you, Kent.
I'll protect you. Forget. There's the title card.
And now it's blue on mine.
That's blue on mine, too. I told you we probably were going to get one.
I think that's the first time I've ever seen a blue card.
They're trying to switch things up because they know we're getting a little tired of things here. Here's a blue title card. Now we hope it stay with us.
Yeah. In the past. Okay. In the future, there's going to be 2 guys that are going to be critiquing our stuff. So we'll try to make sure change a bunch of shit.
They saw us coming decades beforehand.
50 years down the road.
We might.
Is that John Leguizamo?
Kind of looks like him. Voodoo Mambo, do the Congo.
I saw a recent video of him. Man, doesn't quite look like him at all.
Well, he's quite a bit older now, just like all of us.
I look the same, though.
No, you don't.
You look like yourself, but you had more fat.
I've actually, since the early part of February, I've dropped like 10 to 12 pounds. I've been exercising more regularly and eating better.
Yeah, for me, recently, since doing a physical and stuff, I've been reducing a lot of the high saturated fats, which unfortunately includes whole milk and some of the natural cheeses and some of the other things. So I've been trying to get myself used to it. It's been a little bit difficult, but managing.
I love this design. An Jaguar, a sea anemone and jaguar.
What the heck? It kind of looks like an evil seahorse. What the heck is going on?
I think sea anemones, if I'm not mistaken, might shoot out a poisonous liquid, but I don't quote me on that.
Drago!
That's an inside joke. You can.
Boy, have some little fun for once. It's nice and sunny out.
I'm not going to lie, though, and I mean it when I say this. I get seasonal affective disorder in the summer after a while because I get too much sun and I begin to hate it after a while. The heat makes me like really anxious and depressed after a while.
I love it. That's why I like to go outside a lot.
I like it in the spring, but then kind of once, depending upon how the seasons come out, like kind of between mid-June to about early July is kind of the worst for me.
She wearing Colonel Sanders' little bow tie?
Yeah. The Colonel gets around.
Oh.
This camera work is making me dizzy.
We're now watching Tarzan here. It's Kamen Rider.
Yeah. It's kind of funny.
Now,
I do dig this design. I really do. And last time we did an episode, didn't we have, what was it, like Jizz Monkey or whatever that one was called?
Jizz Wolf.
And I found that they did make figures of it, but people were asking like $500. I'm like, nope.
Well, I think I found one that was $150.
That's still too expensive.
Well, it's because of those traditional Sotheby figures that are pretty pricey, like the ones I got in one of my shelves in the back.
Well, see, like you'll take money to G-Fest and like 75% of that money you take is towards just one Sotheby, and then the rest you have like for a couple little capsule toys. Like you basically go there to buy one thing and that's it.
Well, for me, I bought majority of mine were the Sotheby ones. It's like I told you I brought $1,400 with me last year to G-Fest.
Yeah.
And then you're saying to me, "Are you insane, man?"
Yeah, I know. And I think just Lincoln and I think it was what, like 700 or something like that.
And then I told you, it's like, well, these Sotheby ones I'm looking at aren't that cheap.
Then I bought like the same thing twice. Like I guess at last year's G-Fest, I bought the Bandai Movie Monster Series versions of the Evolved Godzilla and Kong with the Beast Glove. And then earlier this year, I bought the same figures off of one and didn't realize it until I went to like put them away. And I'm like, God damn it. So I just gave my spare to Lincoln.
Maybe next time you should take pictures of your collections just to make sure that I don't get duplicates the next time.
Well, here's the kicker. Do you honestly think I'm going to go back and look at those pictures? Just
yes.
Double check.
just have a specific folder on your phones that says, look at these photos, you dumbass.
Special folder on my desktop on my computer.
Yeah.
So if you're a villainous organization, like unless you're someone like the Joker who is very cocky and knows he can get away with it, don't be making your car so noticeably flashy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of over the same time that we've been on this hiatus is about the same amount of time I've gone back and revisited roughly half of the Godzilla franchise. And kind of my whole thing was I was thinking about, and Jason knows this, I was thinking about doing a series of videos where it was like Kent revisits. And then so like Kent revisits Mothra versus Godzilla. It'd be a several minute video or something like that of just me sort of re-reviewing the movie in question recently. And I had meant to do that like a month ago. Still have not done it.
Typical. Boy, it caught up to them pretty quick.
This is about as exciting as that car chase in the H-Man.
Yeah, this is quite the car chase.
When did the movie Bullet come out?
Bullet.
That has Steve McQueen. Like everyone says that's the movie that re-energized car chases in movies or sort of reinvented them.
Let's find out here.
I think Bullet is spelled with an I at the end instead of an E.
There we go. 1968.
Okay, so this was like 4 years after that, and they're still not even trying to incorporate.
3 years.
I thought this was 72.
71.
Oh. That's still bad.
Yeah. Oh, it's Bullet with two, not only with one eye, but two T's at the end.
I bet Steve McQueen's character's name is Bullet, right?
Maybe. I didn't check it.
Come to Go Kaiju Show where we really don't talk about anything other than what's not in front of us. Go Kaiju Show where we don't talk kaiju. Can you imagine that? Like we have our own sports podcast and we end up talking about gardening or something. Yeah. NFL today. So today I planted some hydrangeas in my backyard.
Oh, jeez. Boy, you guys are way off.
They're bad guys. They're as bad as stormtroopers. I figured I'm like, they're going to have the commercial break there.
just try to get the right angle.
They're trying to mimic their little commercial card there.
The heck?
You know what? We didn't even mention before we got in, there's a new Ultraman series coming.
Yeah. We can maybe talk about it for a minute. By the way, we're also forgetting one thing too.
Oh, bets?
Yes.
Under 200 for rider kick, under infinity for explosion, under infinity for ride off.
I'll say under 25,000 for the kick, and then infinity for the other two.
You're a little bit more confident in the kick than I am.
Yes.
They have been starting to change things up a little bit more.
But from what I'm seeing with this episode and how the this week's shocker enemy is. I can see a shocker kick to him.
Oh, explosion.
But that wasn't
Right.
shocker kick.
No, I'm Kamen Rider.
You know, why is he still carrying her?
Because this is a show, and up until like the late 90s, early 2000s, women were always the damsels in distress, and that's kind of what the men who typically were the heroes were fighting for. That's really it. It's like in the 89 Batman. it's more about saving Vicky Vale versus Gotham City. Batman really didn't care that much about Gotham.
Oh, he could have just let the girl in the car there. You know what you should do for your GPT thing? You should do a new superhero called Bathman.
I could do that. I've got some ideas already.
We're not here for the tentacle hentai here.
There's a kick or two.
But that's not rider kick. What the heck? What's a random doll just doing on the side of the beach? And then for whatever reason, she's back in the car, still unconscious.
Yeah.
How she got back there, who knows?
Don't ask.
I am asking. What the heck? How she... What the hell is going on?
Maybe it's a hologram.
Or maybe one of the other gel shocker.
Could be. I've never seen so much helicopter usage in a Kamen Rider episode before.
Oh, it's better than walking or...
They're doing a lot of these shots right here where they're just staring down, like either here at the sea or on the city. Like they were so proud to get those shots here.
Or just using it as filler just to try to extend the episode as long as possible. Yeah, it's a doll.
That almost looked like there was like either gasoline or napalm in that.
Yeah. Or both. How the hell did he get right there?
It's Kamen Rider. Oh, looks like Shador finally found a team. And it's your Cleveland Browns.
What?
Yep.
They just grabbed the Dylan Gabriel. Why pick him?
Quarterback competition. Shador, though, went 144th. Whereas if they got Gabriel much earlier, Gabriel, they believe he's going to be more of the starter and therefore get more money. Whereas Shador coming out of the gate, they don't have to pay him as much. So depending upon the quarterback competition, if Shador were to work out, then during his next contract negotiations, they could end up paying him more and get rid of Gabriel. Or if they believe that Shador won't work out, and I believe that's going to be more of the case, they can just get rid of him in the next few years and not pay him as much. So he's probably going to end up being a backup for a while here. Either that or they're looking towards the future, try to develop him or whatever, keep him on the side. And maybe in a few years, if Shador ends up being even halfway decent, they could use him as a tool to like trade to another team and get higher up in a future draft or get another free agent or whatever.
Boy, it took me a minute just to figure out who you are. Yes, we get it already. We're pretty much at the end, so doggone it. I lost the bet on the rider kick.
I told you.
And then we pretty much lost the, well, I don't know how you would go about with the explosion because it wasn't the villain that did the explosion. It was just the decoy. Yeah, hard to say. I will say this episode, well, I guess I'll get into my final thoughts here in a moment. I got to change discs here anyway, but okay. Your thoughts?
It does feel like Toei is starting to change things up a little bit with Kamen Rider here. It seems like some of the camera shots and
yeah, talk about
kind of like
shots.
Well, yeah, but even there at the end, Hongo's ride-off is different than the typical ride-off that we've seen for who knows how many episodes now. It also comes off as the tone is potentially not as hokey as what it was. We have yet to see what's his name? Is it Tachibana, the head?
Yeah, he was in here. He wasn't really in there as much. He was just,
you can tell I wasn't paying much attention.
Yeah, I kind of noticed because I was looking back on the monitor.
Well, you know what? Again, like we've said many times over the last how many episodes, this series it's been. I mean, I can tell they're trying to do something different, but the formula is still more or less the same. I really like Ane Jaguar's design, though. Even though it's not too totally different from what we've seen before with Shocker, where they were picking like a plant or an animal. Here, they're just combining things now. Yeah, it's not too different from that, but I like the combinations, the creativity behind a lot of these new creations. Jizz Wolf. So like this Ane Jaguar, I really like. I like the fact that it's mostly a jaguar head, but then you have the sea anemone like mouth part, and then the kind of the jaguar, neck and back, but then other aspects of a sea anemone on the back as well. I really like the design, even though you can tell it was a guy in painted galoshes and,
obviously
a fishing suit and all that. I mean, it's still cheap as cheap. So, yeah. So again, it's just regular kung fu fighting. A few small differences here and there, like with the Gel Shocker minions trying to tie up Kamen Rider there, going around in a circle with their bikes and stuff. Nothing overly exciting, but it's different. It's kind of visually interesting, I guess, for lack of a better term. It's fine. I would give it a C. I think it's fine.
Yeah, I can kind of see what you're getting at with this episode here, that they're trying to do something a little bit different. But as I've explained earlier, is that at this point is just sort of checking out at this point with how many repetitiveness per episode and how long that this whole series is dragging on with 98 episodes here. And we're just kind of getting close to the cusp of 10 episodes left here. And yeah, with this episode, I can see that they're trying to do things a little bit differently. Obviously, going from Shocker to Gel Shocker or Gel Shocker, however they pronounce it. But with some of the camera work and all that, it was a little bit nauseating at first, with some of the Gel Shocker minions swinging around on ropes like Tarzan in a way. And then also using a lot of aerial footage of the ocean and some other things with like the townscape and all that, adding a bit of filler to the episode, trying to extend it to the appropriate length and all that, because I'm certain that the script for this episode wasn't quite as long compared to some of the other past episodes. So it was like, oh shit, we got to do something quick. So try to get this episode at appropriate length. So it was like, oh yeah, let's do some aerial footage of the ocean and all that. So try to drag this shit out. So yeah, I can see them trying to do things a little bit differently, but it's okay. This week's Gel Shocker General is a pretty interesting design. Kind of looks a little bit like a seahorse look to it. Overall, yeah, it's a pretty interesting show. If they try to do things like this for the remaining handful of episodes that we have left, I can kind of see things a little bit more interesting from here on out. Just try not to add in too many filler shots here and there. Just try to extend the plot and the story to that. So with that, I'll give this one a C+.
Oh, well, we'll get to episode 85 in a moment after I change my disc. All right, here. So we're going into a sludge monster, which looked like a cheap version of Gamera. Are we ready, Jason?
Yes, indubitably.
All right, so here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Never let his caps keep falling. Where does this one go? Oh, what the hell? Where did you go? The deuce. Oh,
You can deal with it later.
yeah.
Rider, jump. Rider, kick.
It's.
Kamen Rider, Kamen Rider.
I don't know if any long time listeners noticed, but I quit with the Kamen Rider.
Yeah, why did you?
I got tired of it myself. I got tired of my own self. I look at myself in the mirror some mornings. I go, I'm sick of you. Why don't you just disappear? Him doing that, I'm like, oh, he's painting the sky. And then I thought of Bob Ross. And then I thought of that Bob Ross picture I sent you yesterday.
Before you mentioned anything about Bob Ross there, I kind of had that in my mind already.
Let's do a better job of paying attention to what we're actually here for.
Yeah, cat.
Oh, boy. I can't remember if I said this before or not, but I kind of like these Gel Shocker Minion uniforms because they not only remind me of some of the 50s and 60s Japanese serials, like from, let's say, Starman, or even from 30s, 40s, and 50s American serials, like the really old black and white Batman.
I think this is actually the first time in, how many episodes where they kidnapped someone and turned him into a chakra general.
I thought they did that in the last episode. They took the one guy and turned him into on a jaguar.
I think from what I saw that they just only show him just coming out from the ocean and he just transformed. They didn't really show him being kidnapped or anything.
Well, in a way, they kind of are. They're holding him against his will. The eye makeup here.
Let's add a bit more.
Is it me or does the picture come through clearer than a lot of episodes we've recently seen? Like, it seems like the clarity of the shows these last few episodes has actually been really good.
I haven't really paid much attention to it, but it seems like now that you're mentioning that, I think this episode in particular seems to be a bit more clear. And I would say as far as the coloring of it seems to be a bit brighter.
Yeah, since Gel Shocker came in, there's been more color to the palette. This guy is a weird mouse.
Maybe he's doing that just to try to hold that chin strap on.
I'm wondering that too. Like, is it the chin strap pushing up on him, or
it's kind of like this?
It's kind of like
Yeah. Did he just do a wink at the very end? Oh, he looks like the one James Bond villain. I forget the name.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Okay, I got. What did I say, Jason? We gotta stay on track here. Oddjob.
Yeah. Oddjob, yeah. Kind of looks like Oddjob. You owe me money. All these drugs around here, they're mine now.
Let me inhale all. Boy, that security guard is terrible. Like, you're getting shoved around like that. The doctor probably has more cojones than you. So this is a cross between...
Just removed his own head?
Yeah.
The heck?
So this is a cross between what? A eel and a turtle?
Eel, yeah. Yeah, because you can kind of see the eel part.
Well, yeah, but
then obviously the turtle shell
too.
Spooky as hell in here.
I was gonna say ominous lighting that should tell you Hongo.
How did he survive?
Was it like I'm known for like I know kaiju is kind of like beast or strange beast, but I've also heard people use it as monster. But here they didn't use kaiju; they used something like makemaru or something of that sort. I couldn't quite make out the full word here.
I think monster. I think it has some other sayings in Japanese because when it comes to certain words or something of the sort that you can associate different kinds of Japanese language to one word.
Monsuta, what they're saying on Google.
Monster.
Yeah, let me see if I can. Yeah, monster, like you said. I keep forgetting the U more or less is kind of silent.
Well, like in TSU, like like the T is silent.
Well, yeah, like I remember like Shusuke Kaneko. I remember I used to pronounce it like Shisuki, I think is how I used to pronounce it.
I was sort of that way too, yeah. Party.
Chug.
What is she making there?
Garbage.
It kind of seemed like it was on the grill there for a little too long.
You notice how it's all the wives here? Like the wives are the ones doing the cooking, the husband.
Dang.
That's actually kind of intense when you think about it.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, that head is completely turned around because the collarbone is being shown there. Like it's supposed to be the breastbone, but no, it's completely 180'd.
Yeah, so
It makes me wonder if that was a whoopsie moment.
Could be. You see, there's Tachibana right here. Seems like he's getting a little bit more gray on the sideburns there.
Well, when you deal with Hongo.
Or the other guy that sort of was a substitute.
Yeah. When you're working on a show that's incredibly monotonous, like it's making us go gray, I'm sure. It's making him go gray being involved with it.
You know, this doctor kind of reminds me of the one guy. I forget. He's like on this TV show and kind of has this Paradise Island or something. Like he owns this sort of island, kind of wears this really white like suit and all that stuff. I know the face and everything, but I just don't know the name of.
Do you watch those reality things where people just dish out all their personal life and drama?
No, but it's like I've seen like the guy's face over the many years.
Mehmet Oz?
No, not that guy. No. Talking about a sitcom of like this one guy having like owning an island or something.
Was he like the villain in Babes in Toyland with Keanu Reeves?
No.
Oh, I keep forgetting. They come in on these colorful pieces of cardboard.
Yeah. Well, not just cardboard, but frilly little silk fabric.
Soon enough, we'll have to think about what we're going to do for a bit once we get done with Kamen Rider.
Well, we talked about it that we were going to do Kamen Rider.
Yeah, we're going to do Shin Rider, but that's like one episode. Right. Over under, Jason.
With there being smog and all that stuff, I'm going to say that there's going to be an explosion, so I'll be under infinity. As far as a kick, after I got gypped out from the last episode, I'm just going to go under 100 and then right off infinity.
Right off infinity, explosion of infinity, rider kick. I'm actually going to do plus 500.
Oh, wow.
I feel strong enough that they're not going to do it.
I think this is probably the first time ever that you've gone above.
I think either one of us. Because I think we've always gone under. It's just a matter of did we do infinity or something that was.
Yeah.
We've never done even either. Which I don't even know if you could. Yeah, I think you can do even. Those that actually do some like sports betting are probably like, oh yeah. It's like, dude, I don't gamble. I don't do bets. I have no idea.
Uh-oh.
You know what came in my mind when that happened was Akira Kubo's scream when he fell in Monster Zero.
This is sort of kind of takes me back from the early days of this series where he kind of gets trapped and then he uses the explosion for him to transform.
I was going to go there if you didn't. There were, I think, a couple moments like this where there was like a window of sorts at an angle looking down at people in the Johnny Sacco series.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, we covered that back in the winter of 2020.
Doesn't seem like it, but hard to believe that was half decade ago already.
What?
How would they go through? How would they go through that little hole?
I'm glad you caught that too, because I'm like, he just punched a hole.
A small
softball.
Yeah, a small fist-sized hole.
The hell? Wow.
and also, was that directly like in a lake or something? This place that they were trapped in?
It apparently was. Maybe we missed a section where they went and inhaled and like shrunk themselves to shrinking size or something, and then like bit themselves through that hole, and then with the water they expanded again.
Yeah.
Since we're getting close to the ending, and I thought of this the last time we did an episode, I have been somewhat tempted to watch the remaining episodes on my own time just to sort of see where this is going and how it's going to end.
Well, and also, I know we've talked about it that we need to sort of reconfigure how we do episodic shows and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't want to keep doing like 3 episodes or what have you. Is like we should do maybe like a certain amount of episodes and then talk about them like a certain chunk. So then that way we can reduce the amount of each episode of dragging things on like this, for example.
Well, yeah, I would say, let's see, like this is what, 85, and then we're going to be done with 86. So there's 98. So 12 episodes left. A part of me just a second ago was thinking, well, let's start that with the next series we cover. But then, yeah, I'm kind of like,
so like for example, I was thinking like if a TV show has 24 episodes total, like maybe you could do like split them up into halves or possibly thirds.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we did that with Ultra 7, like, what, 2 years ago, I think it was. But I was thinking, like, maybe we start that, if not after this show, because we've already... The thing is, like, we didn't start this series that way. We started the series, covering it, like, 3 episodes at a time on our own time and then discussed it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm almost wondering maybe after this episode, because there will be 12 episodes left. Maybe we do that where we chunk it up into like, let's say 4, and then we get it done in 3 more podcasts. Or like you said, halvesies. We do 6 episodes and then 6 episodes and then we're done in 2.
Well, And then I was thinking, like, not do just commentary, just kind of watch them on our own. And then
that's what I'm saying. Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. I was just making sure it's like, it's like, I don't want to sit here for a number of hours and then kind of get bored after a while.
I do find it though, like, especially for something like Kamen Rider here. And again, I don't want people to misunderstand me because people will, it's the internet. I don't hate Kamen Rider, but it is such a goofy show that something like this is sometimes better with having someone with you because it makes it a little bit easier to digest in terms of at least having some fun.
And like what you said before, after so many amount of episodes and with how much that there is of this exact series, is that it gets not used. Phone, get off. Is that it just gets monotonous and boring after a while.
Well, yeah, but it's more fun like watching this series with you than it would be on my own, because I would be by myself and I would be laughing at some stupid stuff, no doubt. But it's like, this is such a long series. Like, I'm not going to remember all the funny little ridiculous moments.
Like Spectre Man.
Yeah. Like, it just, it makes something like this a little bit more tolerable. Yeah. Because we can make fun of it together instead of me being by myself going, oh my God, I just wasted 4 hours of my day. The kids are about to come home and I wanted to watch Star Trek. Instead, I have to watch this garbage. I almost even thought for a moment, like, what if we had decided, okay, we're going to watch Kamen Rider. We're not doing the commentary like we have been doing for a while, but let's say we're like, okay, am I going to lose? Yep.
Oh. I'll get the explosion.
Okay, well, I'm still making money here.
Even though we haven't really done money physically.
Yeah. But I even thought, like, let's say it's right now, and hypothetically, like, we didn't start Kamen Rider at all, and it's like, okay, we're gonna do Kamen Rider, and we're looking to cover the whole series by October. But in the meantime, we're going to do like other movies and shows. So in the background between now and October on our own time, we would cover all 98 episodes of Kamen Rider. But then we would do podcasts of like other movies and stuff we haven't covered. So, but then it's like, for something this long, can you imagine like doing all 98 episodes on your own for however many months?
Kind of like how we've been doing, like well over a year of doing this.
Yeah, I think we started Kamen Rider, didn't we, in like late 23?
I would at least say 23. But I wouldn't know specifically. So, okay. Yeah, as far as episode 85, I would say there's a little bit of hokiness here and there, especially with Kamen Rider just punching a hole through the trap area, and then for however they did it, swim, fit into that hole, and then swim out. Because I thought that little trap door that they were in was in ground, not even by or right next to a lake or whatever.
I didn't notice the lake at all when they were outside.
Yeah. Besides that, it was an okay episode. This episode's shocker villain. It's a pretty interesting design with the combination of an eel and a tortoise. Here, it sort of looked like a Gamera in a way, kind of. In with the smog and stuff, I don't know how it relates to both the eel and the turtle.
They just modified the guy to do that. That's all they did.
Yeah, but nonetheless, it's an okay episode. But when it comes to that one specific part of the episode where Kamen Rider punches the hole, and then for however they fit in through that fist-sized hole, yeah, it's going to be a mystery. So with that, I'm going to have to give this episode. I'm going to have to give it a C.
I basically agree with you. I think in many ways, this is in line with the last episode we just watched. Again, I like the design.
Sort of, but when it comes to that trap door.
Yeah, I like the cyborg part, the trap and punch in a softball size hole in the wall, and then they somehow fit through it. Yeah, I know that's not what they want us to think, but it's like, come on, like you didn't show the rest of the wall breaking or whatever. So it's like there's either a miscut or something that just wasn't filmed. Yeah. So yeah, that regardless, that's either terrible editing or just poor filmmaking. So it's fine. I mean, when you get an average episode like these first two that we've covered here, there's not a whole lot you can say except it's fine. Like it's passable entertainment. Yeah. You know, the acting's fine. I think the suits, the news, again, like I keep saying here recently, the new Gel Shocker cyborgs, it's really the best thing to have come along in this series for quite a while. Otherwise, it's kind of the same old stuff again. Other than Gel Shocker with different costumes for the baddies, there's nothing else to it. So yeah, that's really about it. I'm gonna give this one a C as well. It's fine. That's about it. All right. So episode 86, where we have an eagle mantis come up here.
Final episode, by the way.
For this episode, yes.
Yes.
So you ready?
Yes, I am ready.
All right, so here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Hopefully this is not going to be another average.
You know what? I would rather have average than like we had for however many episodes there where we were, I was anyways given episodes nothing higher than a C minus, with the rare exception of something like a C plus or something, because there was just something so memorably stupid that I gave it a high grade. Yeah. I was so desperate to like give a high grade.
Like the previous episode where you gave one episode A plus due to Jizz Wolf.
Yeah, I had to. And then was it either this one or Spectre Man where there was some weird flying moment? It either was with Kamen Rider or Spectre Man. There was some weird flying thing that happened we saw in the last year with one of these shows. And it made absolutely no sense. And like I was losing it while we were watching it.
Well, I can say it. Yeah, it would have to be one of those two. Because it seems like both this show and Spectre Man seems to sort of blend in with one another with Me craziness.
I can't tell either if that's a compliment or a damnation.
Why not say both?
Yeah, it's somehow both.
Yeah.
It works if you think hard about it.
Mm-hmm. You kids behave now, okay?
Damn kids.
Damn kids and their scooters.
Hey, look, it's a Kamen Rider fan club. Bunch of posers.
Oh, but we're going to meet Kamen Rider today. Did he just go right in front of the kid?
He did, yeah.
Hey, blocked my view, damn it.
You almost thought if he missed, he's like,
or it's like he has the cat reactions. It's like he's still on the alert.
Yeah,
someone throws that, then it bats it back at their head.
I swear this guy in the fedora here that was just talking to the kid, I swear we saw him in another episode before. But I think he's supposed to be playing a different character here. Yeah, this guy in the hat. I swear we've seen him before.
I think he was the dad in 2 episodes ago. The John Leguizamo.
No, that's not that guy, because that guy had like a wider nose. But like, I swear we've seen him before. Like he was a doctor or something like that, either in a much earlier Kamen Rider episode or something.
But I could swear that he does look like the John Leguizamo guy from 2 episodes ago. Pardon me.
I just have to say the 70s was just aesthetically an ugly period. Like it just... The clothes, the hair, the fur color and patterns, art, they just a disgusting decade, dude.
However, I would have liked to have seen Tokyo in at least the 80s and or the 90s.
Well, you do have Tokyo in the 80s in those 2 Heisei Godzilla movies. There's also, I got the one movie, it's called...
Well, personally, I would have liked to have seen it personally, because I think it's back in those times when there was a lot of stuff going on and crazy ass stores or cool looking stores and all that.
Yeah,
it probably would have been cool to have seen some of that stuff personally. So does this mantis have a beard or what?
I would say something, but
For a second, I thought, wait, was the kid driving? It was like, oh no, they have the wheel on the other side in Japan.
I mean, knowing this series, though, I wouldn't put it past them to put a kid. Like, kid, you're driving.
Like I said, at this point, I'm sort of checked out on this show. So I was like, I wouldn't be shocked by it.
Look, we've been checked out on this show for the last, 6-7 months now.
I think since you said since episode 21 or something, that it's been sort of repetitive ever
like
since.
In the early 20s. Yeah, more or less it's been the same thing. Like there have been minor differences here and there, but more or less it's the same thing. Here now we're getting a different batch because like I said when we covered the first episode of this podcast, that you can tell there's just something a little different that they're doing now. And then obviously with Gel Shocker coming in, that's brought in slightly different things, but at the heart of it, it's still the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a perv.
You guys quit being lazy asses and get out of there. We're not here to enjoy ourselves.
Yeah.
At least Hongo is useful for once.
I want one like that. They're all the same damn thing.
It's just a flower.
Just a turtle.
Guess I'll just be around here guarding the car. No one's here. Give away.
All right, then.
Wait a minute. Yeah, having some spider webs around isn't too obvious. You see some of the walls?
Spooky at all.
And you see some of the walls around the fireplace. It's like obviously painted on spray paint to look like stone.
Yep.
It's like, oh, we just only had the budget to use a stone around the fireplace. That's it. The rest of you can just figure out how to make stone around the fireplace.
That'd be funny if it like
Here's Johnny
accidentally like had the pickaxe like accidentally like go into his forehead and he just kind of stood there going,
oh geez, cocooned them. The minions said they were just kind of strutting. Yeah. No, what?
I like this weird little chant or whatever he's doing.
Man, so much running. How much longer could I keep this up?
It's not a Tom Cruise movie.
He was Tom Cruise before Tom Cruise.
But who was Tom Cruise before Tom Cruise before Tom Cruise?
Steve McQueen.
Yes.
Got you there, huh?
I still want one of those hats.
Like I said, in about a year when I go to Japan, I'll let you know if I can find one.
Dude, if you do, it's probably going to be like one of the originals and it's going to cost you your soul. And it's like, no.
And probably the only place I'll find it is at the Mandarake stores that they've got over there. They got some pretty cool looking stuff. And I've seen that they had some pretty cool looking Ultraman merch. Now, I think once in a while I've seen some Kamen Rider stuff in some of these YouTube walking videos.
Kamen Rider, man. By the way, what's with all the bear traps in this episode?
Just cocoon people, probably. And for what purpose? Who knows?
Take them out for remodeling whenever the need arises. What does that even mean? Oh, remodeling into monsters?
Yeah. He kind of sort of did a little wink.
Yeah, that's like a tick of his. I don't know if that's the actor like trying to give the character a little with the personality, or if that's the actor himself, like that's something he has.
Who knows? Don't go. It's a trap.
Yeah, where's General Akbar? It's a trap. You know what I did here the other day? Something I haven't heard in a while.
What?
Don't do her.
Oh.
Like Lincoln and I were talking, I'm like, I still can't believe on the very first try when I sent that, I got it like almost perfect. And then after that, I couldn't do it again.
Don't do her.
Excuse me.
Not so fast.
That'd be funny if it was Lee Corso coming out ready to fight him. Not so fast, my friend. And then he puts on the headgear for the day. I'm going to Crimson Tide. Like the Trump.
Actually, he does the reverse role. He takes off the Kamen Rider helmet, and then it's Lee Corso.
And then at the end of each episode, he gives that big Lee Corso grin and a wink.
Yeah, apparently he's going to be doing the one final appearance, and that'll be on week 1.
Well, yeah, I would imagine. I thought it would be weird if he just didn't come back at all for even just like a little goodbye. But
yeah, it's going to be sort of weird without being there again.
But you know, the way they've been doing things, he's on there when a show starts, and then he's gone for like a couple segments anyway, and then he comes back for like one segment. Then he's gone until like the very end. So like it's been gradual in recent years anyway, to where you're kind of used to it anyway. And then this last season, there were 3 or 4 shows anyways where he couldn't make it. But yeah, it's going to be weird regardless.
I wonder if they're going to still do the headgear thing at the very end or what.
I don't think they will, because they'll probably be like, that's Lee Corso's thing. No, we're not going to do it. They'll figure something out. I just wish though they would have gotten rid of Pat McAfee. McAfee's such a dumb jock, dude. Like I can't stand him. He thinks he's big shot with his big cowboy buckles and his cowboy hat. And I'm just like, can someone just slap him and tell him he's not cool? I still want my version of Kirk Herbstreit speaking gibberish to be on that show.
Anywho. Or is it poo? Green poo.
He is a bird.
And it's kind of all over the place, like when birds do poop.
That's the name of a show, When Birds Do Poop. You just create a new show. You're the host of it.
Wait, Jason.
This is When Birds Do Poop. Everyone hates it when birds crap on their vehicle. However,
so the thing that he's carrying is supposed to be a feather, but it looks like a piece of paper. And the cave looks so shiny. It's like it has a bunch of diamonds in there.
Little do you know, it's all the belly button rings they took out of their people, and they just pushed them in the rock as trophies on display.
Okay. Kind of a random way to do things.
But funny. That'd be fun if they drop one. They're like, shit, and it breaks into like a dozen pieces.
Well, they sort of dropped it. He's alive.
Do we really need to go through with this? Are they cutting his head open right there?
Trying to make it like it, but they're not. That's one well lit up brain that they had there.
Was that a brain? I thought it was just like a light to a machine.
It was a light, but it was a brain.
It looked like amber.
Sort of looked like it.
Yeah. Captain Black's like, it looks like you failed. And I'm thinking, are you surprised? This is episode 86.
Breaking down the fourth wall. Yo, we forgot the bed again.
My betting is under if I don't give a shit. You know what? Because this is going to be the last time we do this for the reasons I talk here when we're done after this episode. Under infinity for explosion and write-off, minus 100 for kick.
I'll do, under infinity for cheese. Damn. But yeah, Under Infinity for explosion right off, and then I'm gonna go above 200 for kick.
Oh, we're gonna go upper now.
Yep.
Uh-oh. Oh, but does that count?
We'll have to see here. No, we're getting close to the end here.
It does in some way.
What? Oh,
But that
explosion.
makes sense because it hit him in the head like perpendicular, but you know,
Yeah.
that's so stupid. That tells you they don't give a fuck about what they're doing here. They don't. And I know we've kind of been lightly saying that over time, but it's like, look, let's just bring out the F-bomb. They don't give a fuck. I want us to have a special ending to this podcast here in a moment. Oh, there's the ride off again. Yeah. He's not paying attention. He's gonna fall. Do you see him wobbling there?
I was gonna say it, but I was like,
All right. Oh, well, let's preview here. A mailman of death. A mailman of death. Oh, what the hell is that? Spider lion.
Like a beetle and a lion.
What the hell? That's kind of goofy as all shit, dude.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on episode 86?
Again, dude, like Eagle Mantis, really cool. Like the design, interesting powers, kind of dark in spots. But overall, I can't say it. It definitely was not awful, but it wasn't spectacular either. It didn't wow me like occasional episodes have. There was nothing overly stupidly absurd that made me want to give it a higher grade than it deserved. So again, dude, this whole thing for me, it's been a C across the board, all 3 episodes.
Yeah, with this one, at least we didn't get any outlandish scenes this time around, like the previous episode. Yeah, as far as this episode's Shocker General, it's a pretty interesting concept in ways. Like now they're trying to combine like mammals with insects, because we're getting that with the next episode here. Kind of like, unlike where you just sort of combine with sort of the species kind of in the same realm and stuff, but now they're really stretching it out there, starting with the Eagle Mantis here is like, fuck, we'll just do everything.
Yeah,
just
but the
combine
jellyfish
everything.
and wolves.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you're right on that one. So, other than that, yeah, pretty gruesome on that one shot there where the Eagle Mantis's hand slices one of the Gel Shocker minions' heads off from the body there. But other than that, it's an okay episode. I'll give this one a C+.
All right. So here's the deal. If we go by a regular schedule, our next episode is the weekend of the 10th, but my in-laws are going to be in for that weekend for my daughter's birthday. So I was wondering, do you want to move the next episode to next weekend?
Here's the deal. So you're saying the 10th, right?
Yeah. The weekend of the 10th, they're going to be here. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they're, I'm thinking they're maybe going to leave. I'm not sure when they're going to leave. I don't know if they're going to leave the 11th or if they're going to leave the 12th.
So are you thinking of Saturday the 17th or Sunday the 18th.
Well, do you potentially want to do it the 3rd or 4th?
On Cinco de Mayo weekend. I know I've got
celebrate it.
Well, yeah. I know I've got next Friday off.
Oh, the 2nd?
Yeah. But won't do it early in the morning, obviously, because I got a dental appointment for that specific time. So could possibly do it on the 2nd.
Okay, then let's do it the 2nd. And here's the thing. I would like for us to do it in 2 more episodes, finishing up Kamen Rider.
So you're thinking doing 5 for the next episode?
6, because we got 12 episodes left.
Okay, so
because there's 98 episodes, we just got done with 86.
Okay, because from when you're putting up your fingers, it's like we'll do 2 more. It's like I thought you wanted to do 5.
Well, like 6 apiece.
Oh, okay.
You do it in 2 more podcasts.
Okay, so
that's what I mean.
So do the 2nd and then 17th and the 18th. Is that where you're
somewhere in there? Yeah, I don't have Lincoln's soccer schedule in front of me, so I don't know like what day that weekend he'll have a soccer game, but I'll let you know the closer we get there.
Okay,
but yeah, like
because if it's on the 17th, it'd probably be better because then the next day, Sunday, when I get back from church, I'll have that like the bra episode, and hopefully I can get around to getting those completed before I leave on my trip.
So, do you think you'll be able to get the next 6 episodes watched on your own time by the 2nd? Or if you want, we could still do the commentary.
Okay.
For that 2nd.
I can probably do 2 at best 3 tomorrow, watch them, and then probably do like throughout the week, maybe 1 or 2 episodes up until that point.
So yes, you'll be able to accomplish that.
Yeah, as far as the 6 episodes. Okay. Yeah.
So people heard our dirty laundry here. So you guys heard that, right? We're looking to get Kamen Rider done in 2 more podcasts. So one of the things I would like to do is for the very last episode, when we cover it the weekend of the 17th, either the 17th or 18th, I would like for us, and I know it's going to be hard because we started this like over a year ago, to try to do the best we can to like encompass it, to kind of think about Kamen Rider overall and give overall thoughts on the series, which I think we both kind of know where each one is going to kind of stand at.
Well, and I know we sort of hinted at it like over time.
Well, yeah, one of the things that I think is still going to make it interesting on some levels, that fact that neither one of us has seen this series before, and there's enough episodes left that I think there could be enough surprises where maybe certain views on the series will change. Like I was telling you before a while ago, that I think I could see myself, like, by the time we get done going, oh, I miss Kamen Rider. Like, that was sort of fun, even though I know I kind of dreaded it most of the time.
Yeah. But with how long that this show has dragged on, I think it's going to give us an everlasting impression.
Well, and I'm kind of curious, like, we might as well discuss this now. Like, in this, like, do you honestly think this series is going to end on any sort of like memorable note or in a way that you think could even potentially change your opinion of it some extent even more into a positive territory?
My gut's telling me that's probably not going to happen, or there's not going to be anything like that's going to be like that wow spectacular or anything. I think it's going to tell me that it's going to end up sort of like the last episode of Spectre Band, where not a whole lot happened and it just seemed like everything just like
went out on a whimper.
Yeah.
I don't, to be totally honest, I don't even remember what happened at the end of Spectre Man. Like,
see what I mean?
After Gory die or something, like. See, you've seen it twice and you don't even remember.
Yeah. I think he might have died.
See, I don't remember. You know what? This series.
See what I mean? I think it's going to end up not having really much.
We're not going to remember much
memorable
or anything. I think we're going to remember more of this series being the monotony that it is,
and repetitive and dragging on.
Well, that's what monotony is like just repetitive, but then just some of the outlandish things, whether they intended to or not.
Yeah. And maybe some of the memorable stuff is going to be the shocker or jail shocker cyborgs or generals. For instance,
Just Wolf.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you can top that, but we got 12 episodes left, so there's enough time, but that's a tough one to top. I mean, I don't think we're going to come up with any other decent ones until we get to like Starfish Hitler or something like that. Like,
yeah. Yeah, we're going to have to like, once we do the certain like segment watching of shows here on out, we're going to have to do like the best, like the best villain of those certain segments. And then once we do an overall view of a show, we'll have to kind of go back on some of those that we like the best and then try to figure out which one overall was the better villain of those episodes.
Well, you know what? You got a lot of catching up to do in terms of purchasing Ultraman shows. And I like my Kamen Rider V3, the sequel series to this one. Thankfully, it's not 98 episodes. I think it's like 39.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
I think after this, as far as I can remember, I don't think there's any other shows at the top of my head that goes on for this long. So
yeah, because I would be shocked, no pun intended, if we run into any sort of tokusatsu series down the road that is long, that is even
especially the more recent Ultraman shows nowadays is just around 24 episodes. So we would get those done in 2 parts.
Maybe even 1. Like if we start early enough. But like, here's the thing. Like when those Super Sentai shows came out, like, what was it? 2015, 2016, when the first like batch came out, I was purchasing each one. I purchased the first, I want to say 6 of those sets, but then I quit buying them because they were expensive after a while. It was like 60 or so bucks per set. Mm-hmm. And I just was like, after a while, Like I have, the only thing is though, I've watched the first disc on the first Super Sentai series, and that's it. I have not watched any of the other series, and I've spent all that money on those shows, and I have yet to technically watch them.
Well, so, it's sort of the same thing with me when it comes to some of these Ultraman.
Well, yeah,
it's like I've bought. You've seen it, and I think I've showed it on one of the episodes too. Like all the series I bought in bulk at one point in time. And it's like all those, I've still have not gotten around to even watching some of those yet.
Well,
even though some of the more recent ones, I've seen them on YouTube. People out here, whoever's watching us probably has seen them on YouTube too. And some of those series are still on the Ultraman or Superaya official YouTube channel.
Well, and I have all the Mill Creek releases. The only one of theirs I didn't get was Ultra Q and Ultra 7 because I had those on DVD already. But I bought all the other ones. The only ones I've gone through, like I went through the one revamped Ultra Q, if I can find it. What was that one called? Ultra Q. I can't see the other word, but it was the newer one.
Neo Ultra Q?
Neo Ultra Q. My son went through all of Ace like a few years ago, so I saw a few episodes here and there of Ace. I went through the first disc of 80. I went through the first disc of, gosh, I keep getting them confused between Taro and Leo. I think it was Leo.
I know. Yeah, I know I've seen both Leo and Ultraman 80 when they were on Crunchyroll many years ago. I think that was, gosh, about a decade ago. That was the last time.
Yeah, I've only gone through, I started Leo back in 21 and I stopped, and I started 80 in August of 23. But then when I got those first discs done of each of those shows, I just have yet to go back to them. And then here recently, I just got the recent release of Ultraman Z.
Yeah. And I've already watched that show when it was coming out on the Superaya Ultraman YouTube channel a few years back. But like the last couple of years, I haven't really managed to see any of those other newer Ultraman shows. Because like I think one of them, I forget the name. It seemed like he just screamed and all that stuff, and it's like it just kind of turned me off. It's like I'm just not used to this kind of Ultraman, so I just didn't even bother watching it at all after the, I think, first or second episode where he just kind of did like the screams and all that stuff is sort of a turn off.
Well, one thing I'm thinking of, and this would be one thing that we could hammer out like a number of titles in relatively quick succession, would be to cover some of those newer releases once we get done wrapping up Shin Rider. Cover like some of the newer Ultramans that are like 12 or 24 episodes. Mm-hmm. And do them in like one or two podcasts, and we could hammer stuff out pretty quick there for a while. Jurassic World Rebirth is coming out in July. It'd be nice to cover that. We still have not done the commentary on New Empire. I don't think we've done the commentary on -1 either.
Not that I know of.
So those are options too. We still need to wrap up commentaries on Fallen Kingdom and Dominion. But we still haven't even done discussions. We haven't even done any of the discussions on the Jurassic Park / World movies. We've done the commentaries only on those. So at some point, eventually, we'll get to those. I mean, there's still a lot to cover. I mean, just even with the Ultraman stuff in general. I mean, that's going to take a while. But yeah, so let's do that. Let's wrap up Kamen Rider within like the next 2.5, 3 weeks. It would be done, thank God. But yeah, I'm not. I don't want to get too far ahead because this episode's already like pushing 2 hours.
Yeah.
But
yeah, let's wrap this up.
but yeah, like I have a bad feeling because like you and I we were wondering, we're like, do you remember what happened? You know what? I don't. Like that made me think, oh no, like I don't think this series is going to end. Like we invested all this time watching a 98 episode series of monotony, and I don't think it's going to end in a way that's going to come off satisfying or memorable. So it's just, I don't know. I'm concerned as we start wrapping this thing up here.
Yeah.
But anyways, thank you so much for joining us. We hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed the betting because that's probably the last time, and who knows how long we'll probably be doing that.
It's probably going to be never.
I've learned in life you never say never.
Well, I mean, the whole betting thing was just melee around this show. So
I know,
because of all the monotonous garbage that's been happening. So
it was sort of a jokey poke at the series for its monotony. Yes.
So
yeah, thank you so much for joining us. We hope you enjoyed it and we provided you some amusement and entertainment along the way. The final 2 episodes or final 2 podcasts, I should say, here covering the remaining episodes of Kamen Rider here are just going to be discussions, no commentary. And then we will, with the episode coming up the weekend of the 17th in there, we will also do just overall general thoughts on the series and just grander thoughts. We're going to get meta with everything. We're going to teach you philosophy. We're going to break things down academically. We're going to tell you what's up, and you better join us for that one.
Yeah, that's not actually going to happen.
You never know.
But anyways, we'll catch you guys in the next episode.